negative atmosphere first announced all the way back in early 2019, which was a somewhat take on the Dead Space formula, and not a bad one at all, now actually has a support page on Patreon, where it says the game could eventually hit the market sometime next year. This is a survival horror game at heart, in my opinion. Definitely one worth keeping an eye out for. So in case you haven't, check it out.
Alright, let's get out of here before something else breaks. Lights are back on, that's good.
Warning. Toxic atmospheric pollutant detected. Please evacuate sector and inform maintenance personnel.
Check out Leshi, actually a single-player hack-and-slasher with a storyline inspired by Slavic mythology, and there's robots also, because it's the year 2040, where you basically play as Leshi, which is a mythological demon whose task is to guard and defend the nature. Yeah, there's a lot of mechs, folks, and even bosses. Check out quick, this game is coming to PCs only, possibly late 2022.
Oh my God! Go! Go! Come on!
On the other hand, just in case you've missed it, a totally new action RPG came our way not more than a month ago in a medieval fantasy world inspired by Dragon's Dogma. To an extent, you can actually just call it the game's sequel. A Rise of Awakener will be released in 2023 for the PlayStation consoles and PCs, and no words about the Xbox or the Nintendo Switch versions as of yet. Check it out. Project Magnum by Nat Games, possibly a AAA game as well right now, is a third-person shooter role-playing game, and it's looking to be a flexible one in my opinion. So here's the game's announcement trailer. Not a lot of actual gameplay going on here, but nonetheless, it's actually one of the best I've seen for the past few months. So if you haven't, just check it out and make sure to stay tuned for a precise release date for Project Magnum. Check out Lost Away, a space exploration survival game, as you could probably tell, where you will find yourself waking up as a survivor in an abandoned spaceship, and so you become lost away. That's basically where you come in, looking for air resources, gather building materials, harvest and hunt for food, and basically survive. This game's coming to PCs only, and a release date for it is also yet to be announced. American Theft 80s, some of you might have already known, has a release date of late 2021 now, into PCs only, and there's more updates coming soon. So this is basically a Thief's Life simulator from the same dudes who brought Thief Simulator earlier and into the 80s now, where you can have a bit of nostalgia as you go about stealing stuff, live off by selling them. So just keep it in mind. Next up, we have Morbid Metal, a third-person sci-fi action roguelite in which players get to shapeshift. Morbid Metal is the work of a soloed indie developer, and all we know is it's targeting PCs and possibly to out sometime next year, and this is the only thing they came up with.
Better catch up fast. Sha! Return my daughter, demon!
Fate of the Enchant, though Hereafter, doesn't have a release date now, but it's confirmed to be releasing on PCs and consoles possibly sometime in the spring next year. The game itself is an action RPG inspired by Chinese mythology, also the sequel to 2017's Fate of the Enchant itself, and this is the only thing they came up with only a little while ago. Have a look.
Great! You are here!
Please be careful, Captain.
Bitcraft, on the other hand, announced only a month ago, is a procedurally generated sandbox MMORPG currently being developed by Clockwork Labs, which is an indie studio that says a pre-alpha is actually starting pretty soon. This game is actually labeled as a new kind of MMORPG that went on and got a lot of attention lately, so whatever that actually means, more information is on the way soon. Just check it out and make sure to stay tuned for that alpha.
So, any word on Kai? Or his supposed crash?
Don't, please. Nobody's ruled it a crash anyway. They said it just vanished.
Announced during a future game show not too long ago as well, Arctic Awakening is an adventure game set in the year 2062, in which you get to play as a pilot that, due to a plane crash, becomes stranded on this mountain in winter. Now, Arctic Awakening is actually an open world game of some sort, though set for release in 2022 and will be coming to PCs and consoles, including Switch. Check it out.
He couldn't have done this on purpose.
Who knows? I never did understand that kid. Not really.
Well, at least he's not alone this time. Little Charlie and Amelia, though. They've been through so much already.
Maybe they're better off without him.
That's what Kai said the last time we talked, but...
Let's face it, the little brother's pretty messed up. And who the hell knows where it really is.
Luminary, well, actually something I came across only a few hours ago, which is an open-world RPG with online multiplayer where you can drop in, drop out 4-player online or 2-player local co-op. As described by its developers, is only coming to PCs with a release date coming out soon. Anyway, this is the trailer the announcement actually accompanied. Check it out.
is a loaded gun.
X-Killer, on the other hand, which is an action retro futuristic Wild West adventure, I don't know, it's on its way to PCs only and doesn't have a release date, but there's a Steam page that you can actually wishlist the game only. So there's words we'll hear more about XK later this year, but in any case, the game was announced just a few months ago and this is what they came up with only.
Sometimes I kill for money. Sometimes I kill for justice.
Your next target, Johnny the Wireman, wanted alive, paid up. Last seen somewhere in Jacobstown area. Bounty hunter, kill him.
Noble's Life Kingdom Reborn, which is releasing in a couple years from now, is a medieval simulator and also strategy, in which you basically must manage a city, villages, and make decisions in non-linear events. Just fight, defend, etc. Strategy. This game is obviously targeting PCs only, and only a month ago they came up with this.
Your mission is to go to the mining station in Revion Prime.
Dolmen, coming our way possibly soon, is a sci-fi action RPG that incorporates a lot of horror elements that recall games such as Dead Space and Heretic. I don't know. This game is actually funded successfully through Kickstarter and targeting both consoles and PCs sometime next year, after being in the works for more than 3 years. Check it out real quick.
Aloha and welcome to Hawaii, a destination with endless beauty.
Hawaiian survival horror. So Fractured Veil is targeting a Steam early access next year, where it says it'll have both PvP and PvE. What this game does basically is blending aspects of MMOs, RPGs, and survival horror. So check it out. This game's targeting only PCs at the time, and this is how it'll eventually actually look like.
Experience that is sure to bring you peace, serenity, and plenty of terrifying, terrific memories. Hawaii.
If you've been looking up new horror games lately, you probably have an idea of what Choo-Choo Charles is already. If not, it's a survival, trained, open world to some extent game in which you navigate a locomotive, try to survive a spider-legged monster named Charles. Choo-Choo Charles. Anyway, check this out. This game is coming to PCs only as well early next year. If you're not familiar with the business yet. Just make sure to take a look at what the team brought our way only days ago. This is a roguelike first-person shooter that puts you in the boots of a 19th century mercenary hired to explore certain ruins inhabited by hostile locals. Check it out, this game releases in 2023 and is coming to PCs only. Last but not least, we have a survival horror game as described by its developers, taking clues from games such as Resident Evil and Silent Hill. Conscript over here actually had a successful Kickstarter campaign, after which now has a playable demo available on Steam for free where you can have a taste of the battle yourself. Check it out, this game releases sometime next year.
Ils sont dans notre tranchée!